All right, man. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. It's your boy D-Fran. We're back with another episode number 67. Ain't a lot of things to really delve into and talk about. I kind of spoke on a lot of the things that I wanted to speak on yesterday. But if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe right now. Make sure to post notifications every single time that I post here on the channel as well. For some reason, my thing isn't working. But make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow me on all my social medias. They are listed to the left of me at this very moment. So the Rittenhouse trial is coming to a close. The jury is officially deliberating on this young man's fate. And it's very interesting to me, right? It's interesting to me, everything that's come with the trial, everything that's culminated from the trial and how it's ended, the new information that's came out about, him and everything is interesting to me. Because to me, it makes me feel more distrust about information we get from the media sources, right? So if you just looked on social media and didn't read into any articles, didn't watch any of the trials, you would have thought that like Kyle Rittenhouse was like a young KKK member that was coming to disrupt and destroy people that were protesting for Black Lives Matter. But if you watch closing arguments, if you watch the trial, you kind of realize that that's not what you're really in for. You're looking at a young, dumb kid who thought he was doing the right thing. They got caught up in a tragic and messed up situation. So we know the trial is taking place, and this is current news out of Kenosha right now. So Black Lives Matter protesters and Kyle Rittenhouse supporters are clashing with each other at the courthouse in lieu of the verdict. So people are, they're on edge, they're on their toes. So Black Lives Matter protesters scream at Kyle Rittenhouse supporters as tensions flare on courthouse steps. Journalists hire armed guards and police try to ease anxiety as jury deliberation continues. So with this, right, I don't understand the attempts against each. I don't understand the back and forth bickering. Like, I just don't feel like this trial, this decision is something that should be really politicized in a way. If you actually looked at all the evidence that we have that's put forward, I don't see how you can really look at this trial. I'm like, it's kind of clear cut self-defense. Yeah. Like I said, was he a young, dumb kid who shouldn't have been there in the first place? Yes. But if you read articles about whenever the judge threw out the gun charge, right? A lot of news articles that you would think are like left leaning, even right, anybody who was talking about it was saying, well, that was the one charge that they probably could have got to stick and it didn't stick. That's when I knew that it was a wrap. That's when I knew it was over. When I got on here the other day and read the article about the prosecutor saying a reasonable jury would acquit him on the murder charges. The prosecutor said, not the defense team, the prosecutor said that a reasonable jury or juror would acquit him of the murder charges and try to hit him with one of the lesser charges because they knew the only one they could try to maybe finagle was the gun charge. So once that charge went out the window, they didn't have nothing else. They didn't have nothing else to go on. So, and people look at people look at shit like this. They be like, oh, if you're saying this, then you're on the right. Or, oh, if you say that, you're on the left. It's like, bro, sometimes we got to be able, this is as a wide spectrum. People look at something and it just is what it is. There's no political ideology behind it. There's none of that. It is what it is. So anyways, with the jury quietly tucked away deliberating Kyle Rittenhouse's fate, decorum outside the Wisconsin court dissolved in an angry protest on Tuesday with the arrival of BLM activists and Second Amendment enthusiasts. So the jury has now begun deliberating whether or not to convict the teenage gunman whose case has divided the nation. Rittenhouse, now 18, was 17 when he shot dead two white BLM protesters at a riot in Kenosha last August and injured a third. His lawyers say he was scared boy acting in self-defense, eager to protect the town as it fell under siege from an angry mob. Prosecutors tried to paint him as a bloodthirsty vigilante and an embodiment of the systematic racism his victims were protesting against. Like I said, if you watch the video from like start to finish, just if you listen to the audio of the people that are talking in the videos towards him, there's no way a reasonable person can really look at this and say he was a bloodthirsty animal looking for confrontation. And if you haven't looked into it and you haven't watched none of the trial and you haven't seen none of the clips played and you haven't heard any of either the prosecutor or the defense making their claims and statements and haven't heard witnesses tell, then you really can't even comment because you really don't even know what happened. Or you at least haven't seen the way they led you to believe what happened. You're reading social media and you're just taking that information. You're looking at a person who has a blue check mark on Twitter and they say it, so that's right. That's what it is. And that's not what it is. That's not the way you should formulate your thoughts and your opinions. We even got, let me show this. We even have, what is it, Image 3? I think it's Image 3. Let me see. Is it Image 3? We got Ben and Jerry's coming out. The ice cream company. The Rittenhouse trial displays yet again that our justice system is racist. How would this trial be going on if he was a black 17-year-old that crossed state lines illegally, carrying an AR-15 and shot 3 white protesters? We need real justice in the legal system. This isn't it. So first of all, that wouldn't even be a good correlation, only because it would make more sense if they said a black teen protest or a black teen 17-year-old killing 3 other black men. That would be the more equivalent because he didn't kill black people. Kyle Rittenhouse killed 3 white guys, right? That would be the equivalent in my idea. And yes, that's probably an issue we should bring up, because I brought to the table a question for people who are really against Kyle Rittenhouse that haven't really looked into the trial, that say, oh, he should go to prison for life. He's a piece of shit. Are you saying that because you've been led to believe that he is anti-BLM? He killed 3 BLM protesters, and your image of these BLM protesters, some like really, great human beings who were there to protest Jacob Blake's death. But when you really look into some of these guys, they're not like the greatest people. Now, did they deserve to die? I don't know. It looked like self-defense. But my point is, yes, we can also ask that question. If this was a black teen, would he get the same trial that Kyle Rittenhouse got? In my opinion is he should get that. I don't know if he would, but the point isn't even that. The point is, let's not look at it if it was a 17-year-old black kid. Let's just look at it, is that the right thing for right now? Let's not if we know, because when I see statements like that, it makes me think that y'all think Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent and he was justified, but y'all are just throwing, well, if it's a black kid, they would have been throwing him in jail. So since it's not a black kid, throw him in jail just to make it fair. I don't think that's right, because if you think that he was justified, then he should just be justified. We can fix the system or try to fix the system to help, people who are unjustly whatever, but let's not unjustly throw people in prison because we know the justice system will unjustly send other people to prison. That's not how I look at it, right? Especially if that was my kid, if that was my son, I wouldn't want people doing that in that type of way. So we'll see what happens. The jury has been deliberating since 9:00 in the morning, and everybody is pretty much just waiting to see what the jury has to say. I'll be really surprised if they convict him of the murder charges. I would really be surprised. I would, honestly. And I would be surprised if they convict him of anything at all. Because once the judge threw the gun charge, I was kind of like, all right, what are we going to really charge this kid with? Right? What are we gonna do? So let me finish reading the article about the mob. So the jury began discussing this morning after a traumatic 2-week trial. In their hushed deliberations began away from public eye. Protesters descended on the courthouse. One an armed security guard wearing riot gear was among those outside. The guard told DailyMail.com he had been hired by a TV station to provide security for journalists who had been threatened recently. So this is the scene, right? You got black versus, this is like the greatest picture you could put, because it's like black versus white, right? This is what it is. White guy for Kyle Rittenhouse, black guy, obviously he's rocking with the Black Lives Matter side. They're arguing. And this looked like the typical white guy that you would see like out there to protest against these things. Like, he got the freckles, he got the red hair. He looks like the guy that would be arguing face to face with this black man right here. And then they have this. There's a video. Don't want to watch this video? Let me see. Let's see. Why can't we hear the video? They got a video with no audio. All right, fuck it. They're clashing. They're arguing. But a lot of times, I don't feel like any of these people even know what they're arguing about. Everybody's out there just to be out there to make a scene, to make a presence. And then there was this, right? I don't know if you watched, right? But they allowed him to draw numbers of the jurors that will be deliberating against him. And I see people on social media like in an uproar about this. Like, this is a form of white privilege. This is a form of all these other things. And I was like, bro, how does that make it more fair for him? If anything, I'd be thinking, if I got to randomly pick jurors out of 18, I might pick people who don't fuck with me. So really, he's rolling the dice by being the one picking it. But I see why he picked it, because if the judge picks it, there's already, stories out about the judge. Everybody thinks that the judge is on his side. They think that he's He's a right-wing, Trump-supporting judge, so obviously he's going to pick the people that are for Kyle Rittenhouse. Obviously, he's going to want Kyle Rittenhouse to get off. So I feel like that was a judge move. So be like, you know what? I don't want them to acquit him because I feel like the judge knows they're going to acquit him. I feel like the media knows they're going to acquit him. I feel like the city of Kenosha knows that they're going to acquit him. That's why they're doing X, Y, and Z, certain things that when it happens, we have the story of why it happened. Because I can guarantee, right? Once he gets acquitted, people are going to say, well, they're already saying it. The judge got him off. They're going to say, well, the jury was obviously intimidated by X, Y, and Z person. Everything's out there. Everything's going to be said about this trial. And I'm just interested to see what happens whenever they finally roll in with their decision on this kid. Because, I mean, it's an interesting trial. Like, if you actually watch the details and watch the video clips of how they got to the point where he was having to shoot at people, you can't really, I don't know. Like, there's people watching, right? From what I can see, there's 6 people watching. I want to know what y'all think. What do y'all think? If you've actually watched certain clips, videos, what do y'all think that the outcome of this trial is going to be? Do you think he's going to be guilty? Do you think he's going to be non-guilty? And do you think that he should be guilty? Or do you think that he should be charged as non-guilty? I want to know what. Now, if you're watching on TV, then obviously you can't comment. But if you're on your phone and you got an opinion, I want to know what you think. So, okay, here we go. First one. He guilty? Okay. Kyle lucked out by getting a fair judge that wasn't going to let the state railroad him. Everyone should have a judge like that. See, CFC, why do you think? He wouldn't have done that if he knew. Okay. I just want to know, why do you think he's guilty? What have you seen that you're like, yeah, he's guilty? Like, we're seeing the guys chasing after him. Seeing the people say the judge is biased, MAGA. See, you're doing what I said. I knew that was going to happen. But my thing is, like, when you actually look at it, what makes him a MAGA judge? When I seen him blow up on the prosecutor was when he said, what kind of questioning are you asking him? Because he stayed silent. The prosecutor's trying to make it seem like he was guilty because he stayed silent. But the judge was like, that's a constitutional thing. You have the right to remain silent. So I don't know why you would ask him that question. And then the ringtone shit. Oh, my God, he had a ringtone that was a Trump walkout song. But the thing is, that song wasn't made for Trump. That song was out since the 80s. The judge is 75 years old. The judge been probably jamming that shit since the 80s. He might just fuck with but the theme song was made in the 80s. The theme song became super popular back then. It also became popular again when 9/11 hit, and then Trump repopularized it whenever he was running for president. That don't mean that that's because that's some Trump shit. The judge cares about the defendant's rights. That is exactly what he's supposed to protect. Is it normal to hold an AR-15 in public in Wisconsin? From what I've read, they have open carry. That's why they threw out the gun charge. They can do that. From what I read, and from what I read, people say he brought the thing over there. It was purchased in Kenosha by his homeboy, and then they had it. From what I seen, they have open carry. Now, I could be wrong. Anybody could correct me if that's incorrect, and that's the reason it got thrown out too, because there was this thing like he could be held liable under that law if it's like the barrel is a certain length, and if you're under 16, is it for hunt? Like it's a whole bunch of shit. The law, if you read it, it's a lot of jumbled up shit that can be kind of misconstrued or whatever. But that's the thing, he wasn't underage. Like, they wouldn't have threw the gun charge out if he was underage. They would have kept it in. I don't think he's guilty of murder, but the minor gun charge should have stuck. He's going to get acquitted. The gun charge is gone. That was the only charge that could have stuck to him. Once that was thrown out, the case was over. You can't throw out a gun charge unless you're white. Wisconsin has open carry. 16 and 17-year-olds are legally allowed to possess non-concealable guns. That's what I'm saying. And even with you, CFC Sommeliato, right? So you said you can't throw... So we already debunked the underage thing. Look that up. You can't throw out a gun charge unless you're white. See, that's my thing. I just wanted to, I would love for the law to be fair. I don't want to condemn this kid because, well, if he was black, it would be like this. I want the black kids to get the same shake. And I know that's like a long shot because we've seen the justice system's like long history of doing black people, same crime, different penalties. We've seen that happen. But I'm not going to say, hey, well, shit, if he was black, they would have gave him life. So fuck it, let's give him life if I know that he's not in the wrong. That's how I look at it. That's just me. But, some people look at it differently. They say, well, fuck it. If he was black, they would have gave him the short end of the stick. So fuck it. He get the short end of the stick too. That's not how I operate. I'm sorry. I want it to operate to where if that was a black kid, he gets the same fair shake. Not that, oh, well, I know if he was black, he wouldn't. So fuck him. Throw him in prison as well for something that we know isn't wrong or illegal. Well, shit, Rembrandt, if you live in Chicago, Wisconsin, then I'm just assume that you're telling me the truth. Even though I read that they can carry, like for certain hunting or whatever, different things in Wisconsin. But hey, if that's the case, that's the case. So once they come out with it, there's going to be a whole bunch of shit. Everybody's going to be mad. Everybody's going to be upset. And like I said, to people who are upset about it, that aren't like, if you're not upset about it because of the actual evidence, you're upset of it because of like he just got saying, like, if he was this or if he was black or this. Now I ask you this question. If he was black and he killed 3 Proud Boy or whatever neo-Nazi people, would you then want to see him go free with the same exact evidence, same exact scenarios? If that's the case, then I mean, you're just being biased to whatever side that you're leaning to, because you're not keeping it consistent. I'm trying to keep it consistent. I feel the same way either way, right? If you innocent, you innocent. If you didn't break the law, you didn't break the law. And like I said, once I started reading, once the gun shit got threw out, and all these articles start saying, oh, the one that could really get the stick got thrown out. I was like, oh, so y'all already knew the murder charge wasn't going to stick. Even when I read that the real district attorney, this is the biggest case in Kenosha. I ain't never heard of Kenosha until this shit. Only place I know in Wisconsin is Milwaukee. That's it. I don't know no other place. You would think if a DA, the real DA of this city, knew this was a slam dunk case, he can get national news attention, national headlines for convicting this kid because he actually had a strong case. Don't you think he would be the one to take the case? Why would he not take the case? Why would he pass off to an assistant district attorney? But that's because he probably knew that it wasn't a slam dunk case, because this is a national case. This case is probably going to be talked about in schools of it. Like, this is one of them cases that everybody's watching. Right? You go on YouTube right now, you see live streams from like ABC News, every news channel, local networks. The shit got 30, 40, 50,000 views. Everybody's watching this. Everybody's waiting to see what happens. You would think that the district attorney from Kenosha, where nobody gets, not give a fuck, but nobody knows what the fuck Kenosha was until this happened, would want to be front stage and center to deliver what he believed to be justice. But I feel he didn't think it was a slam dunk case, so he passed it off to his assistant district attorney, Blanker, whatever his name is. So let me read some of the chats real quick. I got a little, hyped up and antsy. But first thing I did when I turned 18 was purchase a pistol. We are a very armed state. Last summer, I got my concealed carry license. Prosecutor fumbled this case like Odell. So, like, could BLM protesters before any buildings were burned, could have held guns like him marching down the street with no police tripping? So, what I seen on Twitter when this happened, there was people who was for BLM with guns, right? But like you said, I don't know if the police was tripping. Like I said, there's going to be bias and everything, right? Police tripping is one thing, but I'm just talking about the legal ramifications of sending somebody to prison. I can't control what other people do to other people, but I'm just talking about the fairness of the law. That's what I'm talking about. The CC instructor had never seen anything like how many people were signing up for concealed carry last summer. If he was black, LOL, his mama would have never dropped him off in the first place. Wait, hold up. So why Buddy couldn't put his knife in the car when the police was on him if guns are open to carry? That's weird. Well, that's not weird, because if active beats, come on, bro. If the police are actively pursuing you because they got a call that you was here harassing somebody, that you have a restraining order not to be around because you already assaulted them, and I'm coming to apprehend you, you can't then pull out a knife while I'm trying to apprehend you. Like, that's not going to be the case, big dog. That's like, even if they have open carry in Wisconsin, right? If I have open carry, my gun's out, and the police are responding to a call about me, and I start reaching for my gun, well, oh no, it's open carry, I'm just gonna put it away. They're probably gonna light my ass up, because what are you reaching for your weapon for? So, I don't know. It don't make sense to me. We too scared about guns and actually protect ourselves. But I understand that. I can understand, like, if a black person, like if a black parent was looking at this case And they was like, if that was my son, I would never allow that because he would. I can understand that. He probably maybe wouldn't get that grace. We would hope that he would get the grace if everything was in line and everything was legal. I would hope he would get the grace. But like I said, black parents they wouldn't play that shit. Like, it's a school night and you going out to protect car lots. Like, bro, get your ass. You gotta go to high school in the morning. You a junior. What the fuck? You ain't going out nowhere to protect shit. Leave that up to the motherfuckers. Leave it up to the grown folks. You ain't going nowhere, big dog. You staying at home with me and we doing this over here. But she allowed him to, and that's what happened. So I appreciate everybody. See, that's what I'm saying. I like to interact. I like to see what people say. So there's a lot of inequality in America based on race. We can't just sit here and act like it isn't true. This will repeat itself. You got police officers with 3% tattoos. But I'm not saying there's not inequality. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying in places where, like if you want to convict, like this is my point. If you want to convict Kyle Rittenhouse, not because he actually broke the law, but that if he was black, he would not get a fair trial. I don't think that is the right thing to do because he can't control the law. He may benefit from the privilege of him being white, but he can't control that. So I don't want to send him to prison just because the what if he was black scenario. Like, if he isn't wrong, then he's not wrong. We don't send him to prison. And I hope that if this was ever a black child that was in the situation, that he gets a fair shake as well. And if he doesn't, we should be protesting. We should be out there on the front lines at the courthouse saying, well, this situation is very similar to that white boy up in Wisconsin, and there should be some type of similarities in these cases. Like, we know that might not happen, but it's still there. I see what you're saying. But when shots went off, why 12 didn't rush him, I'm just saying. That is true. I feel like police, during like riots and shit, police are they're very, what's the word I'm looking for? They're very like not wanting to, like, they'll be confrontational with you if you're at a point with them or they're trying to go somewhere. But if they're just setting up a perimeter, it feel like they just let y'all create chaos within the perimeter. That's why they just let y'all do whatever within the perimeter. Y'all can go crazy. Y'all can fuck up everything. Y'all can blow shit up. Like, the prosecutor literally said that the Rosenbaum guy, he was just there he was tipping over porta potties, setting garbage trucks on fire. Yeah, he may have said the N-word once. Like, he was like saying a whole bunch of, like, he was there to terrorize the city. And this is a prosecutor saying that during closing arguments. Like, he was trying to like make like the Rosenbaum guy seem like a good guy, I guess. But it's like, well, all he did was burn this, do this, say the N-word, but that doesn't constitute murder. That doesn't constitute death. Like, I get that, but like, do you think you think you made the jury think like, oh well, this was a good guy. Let's look out for him. I don't think so. Shit, my bad. If Kyle was black, the prosecutor would not have brought charges against him. Standoffish. It's a cycle. This always happened. I mean, even think about it like this, right? I see somebody tweet. This is very false. I just want to say this is a false equivalency, right? But I've seen people talking about. I've seen the discussion happening, right? There's white, whatever, white this, white that, privilege this, privilege that. Y'all remember what happened in Texas recently, right? Where that black kid shot, nobody died. Thank God nobody died. But he shot like 4 people at school and he got out on bail the next day. It's like, bro, like, and people was like trying to defend him. He wasn't being vilified from what I've seen in the media. He wasn't being demonized because if he was white, we already know he would have been white supremacist, loner, weirdo, this, that. But I didn't see really anybody like attacking him. They were saying, oh, well, he was bullied. And then stories came out saying he wasn't really bullied. I mean, it's like a whole bunch of, every scenario got its, flip sides and this and that. You can't really, who fucking knows, man? Who fucking knows? Different strokes for different folks. Because I'm sure there's white people that's like, well, if that kid was white who shot up the school, they would have threw him under the jail. He wouldn't even have bail. Who knows? Rosenbaum was the cause of the whole situation regarding Rittenhouse. If Rosenbaum would have stayed another night in the psych ward, none of this would have happened. But you will get racism here from time to time. That's another thing I'll be thinking about, CFC. When I be talking about certain issues, and I'll just be like, it is like I don't be agreeing with what people say. When I talk, I'm speaking from what I think when I look at something. And I always be like, I'm agreeing with this certain side that had I'm not grouping everybody who ride with Kyle Rittenhouse as white, because I don't think that, because I'm saying I don't think he should go to prison. So obviously I don't think everybody who's there is some kind of white supremacist, Nazi, whatever. But I be getting people trickle in saying some like wild ass shit, and I be like, I wasn't saying that. You know what I'm saying? I was saying this. I don't know where you got this from that, but I get what you're saying. So but my thing right now is like it's two parallels going on, right? It's two major trials going on at the same time. Like we have the Rittenhouse trial going on. This is already closed. Like the jury, they're about to make their decision and it's a wrap. And then we got Ahmaud Arbery trial going on in Georgia where they trying to do mistrial after mistrial for little petty shit. Because I think they know. I think the defense team, they know they guys fucked up. They know they fucked up. They trying to do mistrials because Jesse Jackson, like, it was Al Sharpton one day, then backdoor next day, Reverend Jesse Jackson came. Look, how many reverends do these people have? If he's in the crowd, he's going to intimidate the jury. Like, they're trying to get that case thrown out every which way they can. Because in that case, you know you fucked up. Like, I see shit about Ahmaud Arbery. They say, well, they show video footage of him in a house that's being built. Well, what is he doing in here? It's like, bro, what the fuck? I go in houses all the time. When the pandemic first hit and real estate was low at that time, now it's out the roof, but when it was low, me and my wife used to just go in the open houses all the time. Like these were houses that were being built. I probably wasn't going to a not built yet house, but that don't constitute 3 guys chasing me down their pickup truck and shoot me with a shotgun. I was reading about the trial today. The what's it called? The person who does the autopsy. They did the autopsy. They said he got shot. Boom, with a shotgun. Hit his wrist. Broke his shit. And he got shot under the armpit. Broke a bunch of his ribs. Arm went paralyzed. He was still fighting back off adrenaline. He was chased down. You sounding real sus. Sus about what? Sounding sus about what? Let me know. People say shit. I want to know. Sounding sus about what? I need further explanation. You talking about gay? What are you talking about? Don't just say shit and then don't come back. Come back. Ashley Babbitt was killed because she was a terrorist who destroyed the Capitol, but they said she was executed. Kyle Rittenhouse went to Kenosha and killed 2 people. Injured. He's a hero. So that's how I feel about the Ashley Babbitt shit. The Ashley Babbitt shit, I see a lot of conservatives like, they're like, say her name. She was murdered. This and that. I'm like, stop it. Because I look at that situation and people always, well, you can do these things. Like I said, like I would, if Kyle Rittenhouse was black, I would hope that he would get a fair trial. We don't know. But I also feel like if he was black and he killed people that a certain side don't fuck with, he wouldn't be as vilified. So it's like what J. Cole said. It's just a tale of 2 cities. If Ashley Babbitt was Natasha Washington and it wasn't Trump supporters going in for January 6th and it was Black Lives Matter and then she got killed, I don't really think it'd be too much of a peep on one side, right? But also you flip that, the other side will be saying her name. Like, say her name. She knew nothing wrong. So it's all bullshit at the end of the day. It's all bullshit. Everybody gonna ride for whatever side. And then there's gonna be people that's just in the middle looking at everything through what's actually going on. So, truth be told, come back. I want to know what you're talking about. You sounding real sus. That's about what? People be leaving and don't come back and they don't say what they say. I want to know what you're talking about. I mean, maybe you typing the whole thing like the person who sent me the map email, but I just want to know. Because I ain't doing nothing here but telling you how I feel. From what I see and what I, you know. But, man, what else? Like, I don't really got, man, this the Rittenhouse shit just really interesting to me. That's it. Like the judge, right? Like I told you about the judge, how he getting, everybody think he's the worst thing since sliced bread. The Rittenhouse judge receives hundreds of vile messages wishing most heinous homicide on his kids, threatening his own life. Yeah, people don't like, yeah, niggas don't really care about Kyle Rittenhouse. It's like, stop it, bro. Don't really give a fuck. Stop it. So, a fax the courthouse received in October reads, this is outrageous. What fresh hell is this? Rittenhouse is a murderous thug trying to protect him. Says a lot about this judge. Like, bro, the judge is doing what a judge is supposed to do. He ain't trying to protect nobody. He just getting up in the morning and doing his job. So, what else we got here? Another chilling message. Wishes the most heinous homicide known to man on Schroeder's children. One day, hope his kids become victims to the most heinous homicide known to man, so he feels the pain. We will not call his kids victims. Wow, way to name a white skinhead hothead to be a judge. He's a skinhead white. Like, damn, how do we even know that? I don't even get where we get like shit like that from. He's a skinhead. He's a Nazi. It's like, what? Schroeder's become a target of the left and the media, presumably by being right wing, supposedly evidenced by seeing. Oh, look, they even wrote in this article because of the ringtone. Like, that's what I said. On Monday, the judge dismissed the jury for the night, emphasizing to have them. The time has come now. Great burden reaching a just and fair trial. So yeah, you see how the internet go. Like the judge doing the judge's job, and he's not condemning Rittenhouse, so he's trying to help him or something like that. I even seen that some people saying that whenever old buddy who had the knee on George Floyd's neck, what's his name? I don't even remember his name, but he was on there. They were saying that that judge was trying to help old buddy who they put the knee on George Floyd's neck. I don't remember what his name is, but they're just going to do that in these cases. I'm sure you're going to start seeing people saying that whenever we like turn our head and turn our attention to the Ahmaud Arbery case, because we're letting Kyle Rittenhouse end, right? He's over today. We'll see what happens with that. And then we're going to turn our attention to Ahmaud Arbery. My thing is this, like, I'm not saying I'm some law school genius, right? I don't know shit about whenever they be talking about certain things either, but I feel like a lot of times media drops shit to people that happens all the time, and that is standard practice, but we don't know it. So we take it as, oh, they're being biased, or oh, they're doing this. Oh, they're trying to pull a slick move. But it's like, no, that happens all the time. We just don't focus on it, or we just don't know these words, but people get riled up about it. Like I told y'all earlier, if y'all was watching, I said people got riled up when they said that Kyle Rittenhouse got to pick his own jurors. They made it seem like he was like, I want that guy. I think he'll be good. I think he'll be a good. He probably fuck with me. No, they did in the damn thing like he was picking a lottery. He doesn't like that. Isn't some kind of like that isn't on his side. Like I got to randomly pick 12 people out of here. I don't see a difference from him pulling out random numbers and a judge just saying randomly these 6 people leave and you 12 people stay. Y'all can decide his fate. I don't see the difference. But that happened and they did it, and that's all I got to say. So let me read these comments real quick before I get out of here. She said, Kyle is innocent. Nope, he ain't. Kyle not innocent. He left his home and drove across state lines with bad intentions. By law, he is. But that's the thing too. Trailer photographer. Kyle, he not innocent. He left his home and drove across state lines with bad intentions. If you've seen the videos played in the trial, it looks to me like he didn't have bad intentions because he could have easily just been mowing down and killing anybody. From what the prosecutor said, it seems like the people he killed had bad intentions. It's like I said, burning shit down, doing this, doing that. They went out. Like, you got to think, like, these people like Rosenbaum, from just the looks of it and the shit they doing, those type of white people, they like to tag them as BLM just because they're there. They don't really fuck with black. We see it through this whole year of Black Lives Matter protests. Like, we seen these crazy ass anarchist white people tearing shit up, and the black people that was there was like, hey, y'all gotta chill the fuck out. Wait, hey, motherfucker, y'all could be here. If you really fuck with us, appreciate you. But hey, all the extra shit you doing, we ain't trying to do that extra shit. Y'all do the extra shit for y'all. We ain't doing the extra shit over here. So to say that he went over there for bad intentions when he could have easily just, but that's my thing. He didn't bring the assault rifle with him. Let me see. Do I have that article? Here he goes. An extensive investigation was conducted by the Anatoc Police Department regarding the gun used in shooting in Kenosha on August 28th. The Lake County State's Attorney Office has reviewed the investigation to determine if any crimes were committed in Lake County, Illinois. The office said in a press release, to that end, the investigation revealed the gun used in Kenosha shooting was purchased, stored, and used in Wisconsin. Additionally, there is no evidence the gun was ever physically possessed by Kyle Rittenhouse in Illinois. So people are trying to say he brought the gun from Illinois to Wisconsin. And when we say crossing state lines, from what I've read, from what I've seen, these two places aren't too far of a drive away. They're not like it's like if I live in Beaumont and I drive to Louisiana, like, bro, it's like 30 minutes away. That's not like we make it seem like he drove all the way from Texas. Like, they say he worked in Kenosha. His grandparents live in Kenosha. His daddy live in Kenosha. And it's like some foreign place that he just went to. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give you all the information that's out there. So, look, you say he had no community ties. They say he worked there. They say his grandparents live in Kenosha. His daddy live in Kenosha. Let's say if your granny live in, I don't know, let's say your granny, like I said, your granny live in Louisiana. You live in Beaumont. You go to your granny house. You might work in whatever was like right next to Beaumont in Louisiana. You might work there. So you got ties to this place. You just, just a little bit different. Yes, you do, and you have an assault rifle. Maybe your point would stand if he just had a handgun, or a knife. I mean, what's the difference from a handgun to an assault rifle? If I shoot you, I shoot you. You dead, you dead. I don't get the difference. I mean, I get it, like it's big and it looks scary, but if I got a gun, I got a gun. I'm going to still kill you. I don't get, Now, I fuck with you, trailer photographer. You always hear I fuck with you. I ain't trying to chastise you. I'm just trying to, some of that don't make too much sense to me. Because in videos we see he's running around saying, "Do you need medical? Do you need medical?" Who got bad intention asking motherfuckers if they need medical? If I'm running around in the video saying, "Hey, who needs medical? You need help? You need medical?" What am I doing bad here? I'm asking motherfuckers if they need medical. And I can understand people, like if I was at a protest and I see a motherfucker running around with a gun, I can understand how people kind of like trigger, like, "Whoa, what are you doing? Why you got a gun?" I feel a little bit scared. I can understand that. But to say that he went around with bad intentions just isn't the case. Even in the video we see of Rosenbaum chasing him, he turns around. He could have shot him right there. But what did he do? He proceeded to keep running away. And then once he got into the little car lot and the guy was right up on him, there's nothing you could do at that point. Right? And then whenever he shot that guy, and everybody's like, get him. You see a guy swing, try to punch him in the back of the head. When he falls, one guy tries to kick him on top of the head. Another guy come over the top with a skateboard. Like, you see these things, it's like, bro, I would have killed him too. Like, I get what y'all saying. I get like there's a difference between an assault rifle and a pistol. Like, but that's just the optics of it. Right. And you got to, and if, think about it, if he wanted to, and I got to get out of here in a second, but if he wanted to kill a massive amount of people, he wouldn't be running around asking people who needs medical. And when he was on the ground, he would have shot everybody who was around him. If he was really, what did he do? He shot the immediate threats to him, got up and ran. He didn't get up and start blasting everybody. He shot homeboy with the skateboard. Then the other guy who lived, who got shot in the bicep, he started backing up. And then once he lunged at Rittenhouse, he shot him. And then what did he do? He didn't shoot that one guy who tried to kick him. He could have shot him, but he didn't. I don't know why, but he didn't. He shot homie who came over the head with the skateboard, and he shot other homie in the bicep who backed up and they had a gun, shot him. I'm just trying to figure out that's all I want. I just want to try to figure out where the bad intentions and this and that is. Right? I'm just trying to figure out where it's at. Because if I think of bad intentions, I think of the people that's going up there burning up car lots in the name of Jacob Blake, when they're not even really doing it for Jacob Blake. They're just doing it because they want to cause destruction. But that's all I got, man. I appreciate y'all for being active. Oh, my bad. Let me read what Trail the photographer said. I think we can all agree if he minded his business and stayed home, this most likely wouldn't have happened. But we can also say this. Trail the photographer, we can also say if Rosenbaum didn't come after him and if those two guys didn't attack him, they wouldn't be dead and everybody would have went home. So we can pull up any scenario. We can pull up multiple scenarios about all this. If Rosenbaum didn't chase him down, if the guy with the skateboard didn't lunge at him while he was on the ground after he just got kicked in the head, and if the homeboy, because think about it like this, the homeboy that was backing up, who was right up on him, he could have shot him. But think about it, he did not shoot him. He restrained from shooting that guy until that guy lunged at him. So the thought of saying he was out there ready to murder and kill anybody, obviously that's not the case. So that's all I got, man. I really wasn't. This wasn't even supposed to be like a full Rittenhouse thing, but like I said, when the chat get active, I get active. So I appreciate anybody in the chat. If you're in the chat right now and you're not subscribed, I'm almost at 7,000. I think I need like 8 subscribers to hit 7,000. I need like 8 subscribers to hit 7,000. So there's 10 people watching this live right now. If y'all just hit subscribe, I'll be at 7,000, and then we'll all have a great day. We'll all go on with our lives, and that'll be the end of it. So. Yeah, Clint Toy. Like, he only shot people who attacked him. He didn't just go around killing Black Lives Matter. And I think that's the thing about it, too. That's the thing, and I'm going to get out of here after this. The thing about that sticks with the media is that we keep calling these guys, Gross Cut, Rosenbaum, and the other guy, like Black Lives Matter protesters. So, like, that triggers a lot of people. And a lot of people probably think these guys aren't even white guys. They probably think it's like some black people he shot. Honestly, there's probably people out there that actively believe he killed shot 2 black people, or killed 2 black people and shot 1. But that's why it's getting so much press. Because I'm sure there's plenty of other shootings that happen during protests, riots, whatever, but they're not getting the same amount of attention. But if we could do like white boy, white man, Black Lives Matter protesters, that's news. That sells the tickets. That gets us the views. Push that. But then you start seeing shit get debunked right and left. And then you start seeing news organizations scared they're going to start getting sued. They start changing up their tactics. It makes you think, did the news organization even believe what they said in the beginning? Or now they said it to be salacious, thinking he was going to go to prison. But now they're like, oh, shit, he's probably going to get off. And they're going to sue our ass. Just questions I need answered, that's all. If this happened in front of Walmart, what should people do? I don't give what do you mean if it happens in front of Walmart? If this happens in front of Walmart, what do you mean? If people start blasting people in front of Walmart, I'm confused. And are we talking about Walmart like broad day when people are out there? We talking about Walmart shut down, locked down, protests going around, people are burning shit down, they're burning the trash cans in the back. Like what Walmart scenario are we discussing? But like I said, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe right now. I really appreciate all the subscriptions. I really appreciate everybody watching and viewing the show. This was not supposed to be a complete Kyle Rittenhouse thing, but once I said, hey, let me hear what y'all think, we got into it. And I feel like we had a great discussion about what actually is going on within this case. I appreciate everybody for watching. Whoever's watching on YouTube, whoever's watching on Twitch, I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Active Beats, come back tomorrow. We're going to get back into it. I really do got to go, though. So, like holding a gun. I get it. If it's broad day, people are going to be scared. They're going to be upset. Certain places, you can do that, though. Certain places, you can open carry. Like in Texas, you can open carry. People have AR-15s wrapped around, they can do that. That don't mean I'm going to just blast off and shoot them. I'm going to be highly alert of that motherfucker, but I can't just go all crazy and just shoot them. But like I said, appreciate everybody for watching, subscribing, appreciate the conversation. I'll see you guys tomorrow around the same time. Make sure you tuned in, turn on notifications, make sure you subscribe. See you guys next